right, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you stopping by. Happy 1st of May. Happy Lego release day. I know a lot of stuff came out, and I know a lot of people went out and either bought it at the store or bought it online. Hello, Missy. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Greg. Thank you for being here, everybody. Appreciate you coming by as always. A lot of stuff was released today. A lot of Star Wars stuff was released today ahead of May 4th. I didn't get any of it. There's things that I want. It's not important for me to get them like day one anymore. So I'll get them as months go by. Maybe I'll get them on sale or something like that. But anyway, today's stream will be Star Wars related. We'll be working on some Microfighters. And I'll be building them. I'll pull this up in the designs thing so you can see it. Two things I wanted to do. One was either go through and part out one of the ones that we've already talked about, Pirate Fighter, Echo's ship, or the craft that Hu Yang took all the Padawans on their trip with. I think that one will probably need the most parts because they're all dark tan. My purchases are June, July, and August. Yeah, mine are like in the middle of the months usually. First of the month is rent. Middle of the month is usually like I've got a little extra that I can spend on, and if it rolls over from that, it's fine. So two things. One, well, there's a lot of things. I'm not going to say two things. First thing, if you're current on Andor, I think this music may be a little loud. If you're current on Andor, there was a one of the episodes. I'm not going to spoil it by saying kind of anything that happened, but there was a image of, or there was a scene with Saw Gerrera and his partisans, and in that we saw kind of a familiar ship. So I'm going to add that to the list of ships to work on. Doesn't need to be done right now. Hey, Dusty, how are you? Happy May to you as well. The logo has a pink brick in it. Of course it does. Johnny's building the new Star Wars Lego brick, Star Wars logo set. So I was actually looking at that, and the more I looked at that, I might actually get it at some point. I think it would go good up on the Star Wars shelf over here at some point. Plus some of the build techniques looked really great. So I'm going to bring up this ship real quick. And I can only find it by going into Reddit because I posted it in Reddit. Maybe it's in my Google Photos. It is not. So I posted it in Reddit because I wasn't sure where what the ship was. So if we're looking at this ship, this is a scene from Andor. Yeah, cool. That's going to be great. Yeah, and I like the way you're talking about like adding stuff around it, and I think that's kind of what I think people would want to do. There was there's a guy in our group who has a big ball about that big that he's built a stand to put it on, and one half is the Death Star and the other half is half of Mickey's head, and it's got Star Wars and Disney figures all over it. It's kind of cool. So something like that where it's it's very cool. Anyway, this ship right here. So he's got these partisan X-Wings, which are Rebel X-Wings. These are the T-70, T-65, T-70 X-Wings. I think T-65. These are the T-65s, the original ones we saw. These are basically one step up from a Z-95 Headhunter. After this, you get the T-70s, which are the Resistance X-Wings we see in like the sequel trilogy. And then there's a T-85, which is later, which we see in the Resistance cartoon. So there's different, bunch of different X-Wings. These you can tell are the T-65s because they've got the dual intakes versus the single split intake that the T-70s have. But it's this ship that I was concerned about. This is just a regular freighter, but it's called I thought it looked like one of several other ships. And if you watch the Clone Wars, I've seen it before. Who said it was? There we go. They said it was in Rise of Skywalker, but I don't remember seeing it in Rise of Skywalker. It is this Aura class freighter. You've probably, it's a modified version of that, so you've probably seen it in Clone Wars. It was during one of their missions where it was a slaver ship, and this is what we saw in Clone Wars. The cat-like people who are slavers, basically, this was one of their ships, and this is what I remember seeing. I thought I saw it somewhere else. Anyway, it's black and white. The X-Wings are black and white, which reminded me I have a lot of other X-Wing models. But none of them are the T-65. So I was going to come in here and basically make an official Lego model of this X-Wing, color it black and white. So now I have a partisan X-Wing. And then I have that YV, whatever it is, 865 Aurora class, Aurora with an E on the end of it. So this has now been added to the list of ships. That's a pretty cool ship. It's a big freighter style. I couldn't find it. I ended up looking up freighters. Just typed in Star Wars freighters and then just went up through an image search until finally somebody on Reddit was like, yeah, that. I do belong to the, or I've subbed to the Star Wars ships on Reddit because I'm a giant spaceship nerd, if you can't tell. Anyway, so that's going to be a project. That'll be a really easy thing to knock out once I've got an actual, because these are all different Poe X-Wings. This is technically from the Resistance, but it's supposed to be Kaz Ziono from Star Wars Resistance, and these are the X-Wings you see in that. There's also an official set of this. See, this is this T-85 X-Wing. There's also a Resistance X-Wing. See, I haven't built this one yet. This could be both, because there's actually a X-Wing Microfighter that you can get. There's two of them. There's one with Luke Skywalker, and then there's one with, I think this is Snap Wexley, but these are both official sets, right? But you can see the difference here, the Resistance, the split intakes, and the quad intakes. Other than that, they're kind of the same model. So, well, in a lot of these X-Wings, Dusty, they were reusing a lot of these. So once they started using them once, they had to keep hold of them. So a loss of an X-Wing was like a loss of like 20 TIE fighters. They didn't have the money to buy new ones. They were constantly stealing them and refurbishing them. And whereas the Empire was just printing TIE fighters at this point. But yeah, these are just different variants. So, Headhunter, T-65, T-70, T-85. And these are just different colors that Poe had during his reign of an X-Wing pilot. So that's another project. So I'm not going to save this file, but you'll get that idea. Also, a quick little update on the stadium. I got a little more work done on lining up all the seating areas on this one side, so everything lines up now. I flirted with the idea of putting railing in between all these seats, but I basically replaced it with some clips and bars and stuff, and it just looked way too ugly. And it was starting to be, you couldn't see any of the cool lettering anymore. So I was like, I've just, it's not always there. It's only there for the supporter section because everybody stands, so they need railing there, but these are temporary seats. This whole section goes away for concerts. So I'm not too worried about it looking like it has the bars there. But I got this section figured out. It kind of leans on this a little bit. So that should work pretty good. I want to maybe try to build this, make sure it works. I haven't figured out how to attach these two yet, but what I'm thinking, if I go back over here, this is what I was working on before the stream. If I prop this up, this goes straight down here to become all the shops. And the shops are about this big. They're about half of this size, right? And then it's, girders all the way up to the overhanging roof and then the scoreboard. So the scoreboard's going to be about this big, right? This big square right here. So I don't have to have anything under here. I could just support these with a bunch of 2x6s. We'll figure that out, and then everything can be built on top of here. There's other, and I can do it by sections. There's other buildings that go along the back, and this becomes a concourse walkway right here with like string lights in the middle of it, and the lights have bats on them because Austin. But I'm getting to the point where I'm pretty excited about moving on from this section. So cleaned up this area a little bit, moved it to where I need it to look right. So looking good. I'm excited about how it's going. So the microfighters that, I didn't need to do that again. The microfighters that I wanted to work on today, and I'll let everybody pick if there's more than a couple people in here. We've got, this is I think a pirate snub fighter. This is one. This is our Nikto. You can't see him. We've got the, was it Remora? Or the, I don't remember what it was called. L something maybe. Nope. Well, I thought I renamed it. Remora. The Remora. That the is going to get me every time. This one should be pretty easy to do. I think I have most of these parts, so I'm leaning towards that. And then the other one is the Paladin class Corvette. I think this one is pretty cool, but I can guarantee you, I don't have dark red cones. I probably don't have dark red round tiles. I probably don't have dark red wedge plates. But I can definitely do this one. So, one of these three, whichever you guys would like to see, I would totally be okay doing any of those. It doesn't really matter. Just going through the process of seeing what parts I have and then making a list on Bricklink. I'll let you guys vote in the chat what you guys would like to see. In the meantime, before we get going, what other sets have come out today? We've got, where's my Lego news? So a lot of the Star Wars sets are out because of the May the 1st. I know that also there was, there's a new flower. There's a Black Dahlia that's coming out. That's a kind of a friend set. We've got some Speed Champions. We've got a new Technic set that looks like a space crane vehicle. We got one vote for the Snub Fighter, which is this one right here. We got some Sonic sets. We got some Marvel sets. We've got this cute dog. We got one of the puppies from 101 Dalmatians. that looks really cute. It's got two different modes, two different poses. We've got the Val Kilmer Batman Forever Batmobile. The Bricklink Designer Programs put out a thing. They announced some creator sets for August. There was also a mention of a new Plo Koon Microfighter. That's basically this Microfighter. This isn't my design. I forget whose design this is. Kyung Lee, maybe. But it's this Microfighter. I'm going to put this down here. It's dusty. It's been sitting on the bottom shelf for a while. But it's this Microfighter and it's that figure. So we're going to get another Plo Koon printed head. And then another 7B, a Delta 7B. I think this is a Delta 7B. It's the one with the big engines on the back. And the droid, there's two versions of these. One with the droid on the front, one with the droid on the side. So this is coming out, I think, June. So I'll probably get that. Yeah, so that's all I can think of right now. Johnny's on bag 2 of the Star Wars logo. The Star Wars logo is another set that came out today. The UCS Jango Fett Slave 1 came out today. Handful of other things came out. So yeah, so there's quite a few of these. Today was a big day. So Snub Fighter, let's go with the Snub Fighter. We have a vote for it, so we'll just go with that for now. We'll get our bucket. And again, there's a lot of me walking back and forth, so but we'll get to that. But there doesn't seem to be a ton of pieces in here, and I might be able to get a lot of them done pretty quickly. I already know I'm not going to have the ski poles. I'm not going to have these dark red shield pieces, and I may be out of these bar pieces, but I can put pieces in there to finish the build, then we can just order what we need to. So this looks like it's mostly the instructions seem to be mostly done. I think I thought I had this finished. Let's check. I may already have this on a list. Oh, there's some replacement 2x2s in here that need to go, that are problems. Yeah, this was already done. So this may be pretty easy because I think I may already have a list for this. Let's go to Bricklink and find out. How's everybody's week been? Yeah, hey Brian, how's it going? Good to see you. Yeah, have you run into that? Those 1x2s are just a pain in the butt. Ugh. And they're in here somewhere. Oh, I've already replaced them. But now I have to go through. Let's do that real quick. I have to go through and find out where they are and where they're missing from. So they're way in here. So they're under that. Okay, well this isn't too bad. So if we get out of this. Well, this is weird. It's not old files. I'll make a file and then there'll be an update and I'll come in here and the 1x2s are bad. I made this recently. This was last November. This wasn't something I've been sitting on, Old 2, 3, 4-year-old models I understand, but not this. Let's put this guy with that guy. So step 14. There's another one in here. Let's also put him in step 14 and just see what happens here. 11, 12. Oh, no, it needs to be before that. So There's 11. Let's put him in 11. Let's see. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, that's probably good. All right. Well, we'll find out. Like, I'll make a new. I'll try an experiment. I'll make a brand new X-Wing thing, and then I will update Studio and see what happens. Also, the Avs are starting soon, and it's game 6. And if they don't win today, they're out of the first round, and I'm really freaking out. Almost didn't have the stream tonight because I thought maybe I'd watch the game, but I'm like, the game will be there. I'll keep an eye on the score. So let's see. Now, I haven't had it where I replace a 1x2 and then go back and it's corrupt again. But I have had where it's like a newish model. And this started way back when, this is like 2 years ago when it started an update. I have a cart open for something? I don't think I need this, whatever it is. I think this is one I opened last week. Yeah, this is all the pieces for the Crimson Firehawk. I feel bad that I left this cart open. I don't need it. I'll do it later. But let's see if I've got one for the Snub Fighter already. Sith Fighter? I don't know what ship this is. Sith Fighter. Right, let's get all the way to the bottom of this. I don't think this is the Sith Fighter because this is we call it Pirate Snub Fighter. So this isn't it. I don't remember what Sith Fighter is. Dreadnought Heavy Cruiser. Yeah, that was a while ago. But I think I made this a while ago. Ornithopter. Let's just do a search for Micro Pirate Snub Fighter. Already have it. So I've already uploaded the pieces and a cursory glance. Nothing's broken, so I should be able to just run through this pretty quick. Well, so I left a lot of wanted lists in here because let's see if that worked. So like this one needs to be renamed. What? Interesting. So I already had it in here. I think I'll get rid of this one and rename this one. Looks like I already had it in there. I like keeping wanted lists because a lot of times people won't have, this is just me, but it was a process that I developed a long time ago where I would download the XML file and put it up on Google Drive. So I would have a folder for each Microfighter. I'd have a render, an image, a render, the studio file, instructions, and an XML file in case somebody doesn't have a Bricklink account, right? But I mean, you need a Bricklink account to go get the pieces. But if I also give you the XML file, like if somebody orders it and doesn't use Rebrickable, I can say, yeah, here's the XML file. So I try to keep them all. Some of these though, yeah, test logbook, I don't need that. Lighthouse, I don't need that. Power, I don't need that. Tantive 4. Oh, this is because, yeah, there's a couple pieces in the UCS Corvette that I didn't get. Can get rid of that. Yeah, I don't use it as much. I need to get back into using it, but I stopped uploading stuff to it because I would just get to the point where I designed it and then that's it. I didn't go through and do instructions, and I didn't put it up on Rebrickable. I got kind of frustrated with Rebrickable a little bit, so I'm waiting to kind of feel better about them. So anyway, this is the beer for tonight in honor of Barks for Beers, which starts here in Austin today. This is a local brewery, Red Horn Brewery. They have 2 of these up near Leander. This is a Mexican style amber lager. So I'm hoping that it is dark-ish or amber-ish. Oh, that's really, oh, yeah, that's delightful. That's amazing. The techniques for the letters are good. Awesome. All right, so Pirate Snub Fighter, let's go. So again, remember when you're sorting by this, just make sure you have as many pages as you can. Sort by the quantities, so it's easy to go through and get like the big quantities first and then the lower quantities later. I already know I'm going to need those. I think I might have everything else. I'm looking at these. I've got a whole bag of these. I might need the droid heads here, but let's go ahead and start. So I apologize. This is the part of the thing where I go back and forth getting all the parts, but I'm going to try to remember as much as I can so I can come back with all the parts. And in some cases, I can bring it all over here and sort through it. This is one of those occasions where I'm not necessarily out of the part, but I have so few of them because I use them for everything that, put him over here. Like I may be out of light gray, but it's so hard to find out if I'm out of light gray or not. And light gray may not be as important as, can I just do dark gray? So like a quick glance through here shows that I have very few regular light blue gray corner pieces now. And this is another one of those where it's 95% full and I need to either split it or I need a second one of these or a bigger storage for this one. So without dumping these everywhere, although I could dump them in here. And look. Here's one. And only one. So, because I'm low on that, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to say I need that. And I'm going to put in that I want like 12 because I'm going to need more as a replacement. I usually sort by part name. That's probably a better way to do it now that I think about it. I don't do this a whole lot. So let's try that. That's a good thing to do. By part name. Sort by item name. Yeah, let's make sure they're okay. We got 50. So I'm gonna need those. Just remember I need those. I've got this bag already here, so let's go through that. I need 4 of these. Luckily, have a bag. Dollar Tree has big 16 cup clear food storage. Yeah, I usually go through like example of like this size stuff. I'll just dump in here and look at it. Also, our kitchen table currently has nothing on it. Another big thing I can sort through if I needed to. Dump stuff and look through it easily. These aren't the ones I needed. Well, you guys are awesome. I need 4 of these. These were from Brick Rodeo Cool Parts. It's a bag of parts that I got as a cool part. That's why you should go to Brick Rodeo. You get cool parts. All right, so I have 4 of those. I already had these bags out here, so might as well. All right, so now I thought I needed more wedges than that. Those aren't the pieces I'm looking for? No, they are. One by half cylinders? Unless I'm missing something. Okay. So I need a right and a left 4x plate, and then 3 jumpers and 2 tongue depressors. Those guys. Again, my favorite drawer that I'm always looking for stuff. Again, need to figure out a better method for that drawer. And I forgot which color I needed for here, so this may be another one that, nope, I have a bunch. Okay, so 3 of those. And I only need 1 of each. No, I got those aren't the pieces you're looking for line. I just didn't know if you were actually using that line to reference that I wasn't getting the right pieces. Sorry, there's a storm over, or there's like a storm line over Austin right now, and my head is pounding. I've drank so much water today and I've peed a bunch, and I thought maybe that would help, but it's just storm pressure. Need a right side now. This one should be an okay size. Should have a few of these. I got it, and I don't even watch Star Wars. I got really excited yesterday because a video was suggested for me on YouTube, and it was an anime Heir to the Empire. And I was like, what? Like somebody had taken Heir to the Empire and animated like the first half of the book or the first part of the book or something like that, because they're like part 1, and I'm like, oh cool. And then I watched it, and it was AI, but it was an actual artist who drew a bunch of stuff and used AI as the animation. So it's still their work. It was still all their work. They just used AI to help with scene transitions, animation, stuff like that. So while the artwork was really good, and I was very excited to see like Prince Jizor and Dash Rendar and stuff like that, the animation still looked like AI animation, and it was really off-putting. And I'm like, and everybody in the comments was like, this is amazing. And I'm like, okay, settle down. Like it's a lot of work, and I'm not gonna down the person for doing all that work. But at the same time, I'm like, I wouldn't call this amazing. I would call it good, but I'm not gonna, say anything because everybody will be like, well, why don't you go in there and do it? So I don't know. Well, I thought I would have more of these, but it's turning out to not be the case. And I swear the last time I was in here looking for the other wings, there were a ton of them. In which case, I'm going to cut my losses and we're going to do this color. And I don't want to do this all night. I will say I need those if I ever order from this. Save that. I'll take some of these back to their shelves. And now I need 3 trans yellows and some corner tiles. Bringing these over here so I can sit and talk. So I need 2 gray ones, which I think I have enough. Nope. Bunch of black and white. No gray. All right, so this is going to be need, and then I'm going to need 3 of these. So we have 3 of those. So to get this built, let's do white for gray and black for red, just for now. See what it looks like. Again, it's a pirate snub fighter, so it may just be, they've had to put a bunch of stuff together to make it work, all that kind of stuff. So this is another one of these trays. It was one of these things that one of our guys brought in. It's a big black storage unit with a bunch of these type of drawers on it and a bunch of like little drawers that go like this. And this is the top row, and I have all my trans tiles in here. This is one of my favorite drawers, but it's also very dodgy because it sits up top, and I'm like, one of these days I'm gonna spill that. All right, I'm not gonna remember this, but let's go 2 grills, a square, a 2, and a 2. And because the corner that this sits in is dark and I can't see anything over there, and I want to make sure these are both the same color, not dark, or not light gray and gray. And they aren't. That's 2 different grays. Nope, that's okay. And then that tile, and then 1 of those, 2 of these. These are the workhorse. Sterilite drawers are the workhorse of my storage. It's probably 60% of my storage. They're just kind of everything I need. They have variable sizes. They can stack on each other. They're pretty rugged. And they're covered. Like the drawer covers all the way to the top. They do tend to be a little squirrely after a while with weight, and they tend to kind of bow in and do some weird stuff. But that's if you have them for like years, which I have. Okay, so I need some 2 long cheese wedges, 1 cheese wedge, and 2 graters. Yeah, that's the one problem of doing this at night is there's no light in that side of the house. Nothing to see if I've got the right color or what. So in most cases, I got to bring it back over here and see I've got it. All right, so I have that. I have that. I have that. Check my Discord. Hey! So that's what you mean by smallest Star Destroyer. I love it. Does it come with... Where did you get that really small Death Star? It has a 40-year plaque on it. Did it come with something? Oh, it's chasing a... That's cool. You're already done. I needed one of those. I have one of those. And I have 2 of those. I have 2 of those. I have one of these. I have 2 of these. Okay. All right, now I need 2 bolt bottoms, 2 rounded plates. Oh, it just says star. Okay, cool, yeah. Both sides have their own brain. That's cool. Wish it would rain already and get it over. It just keeps lightning to the north. This is like 3 days in a row where like evening storm. Austin has been like the tail end of the storm, and it just everything blows up in the Midwest. Like there was a tornado that touched down in Burnett County, which is like an hour north of us. All right, bow bottom, 2 round plates. I don't think I got these colors right. Oh no, I did. Cool. I needed 2. Okay. As sad as this is for somebody in this hobby, this is my workout too, because I'm walking back and forth. All right, this one, I have that one, so I'm gonna go get 2 of those. 2 clips, 1 jumper, 2 6s. Same color. Good. So the ongoing saga with the powered up power is that I couldn't get a refund on. Let me go grab it real quick. Couldn't get a refund on this thing, which goes into your battery pack like so. Those are your leads up there and your leads right there. It just goes in like that. You plug that in. The problem is you have to have a plug. You have to have a 5 amp. No, you have to have a 3 amp so it can deliver 9 volts. I don't know how electricity works. Wall adapter. That's a USB-A, and I don't have that. I used to when I had an older Android phone, but everything is now USB-C, and even when I had a USB-A, I think it has to, like the phone has to say, yeah, I'm good. Just pump out whatever you need. But I think USB standard is you can only have so much going across this, which means this thing in here says I'm upvolting it. Like, I don't know how that works. Anyway, I've tried everything. I've tried different adapters and cables and everything, turn it into USB-C, whatever. Nothing works. So I finally got something that Lugmate George recommended, which is basically this, the battery pack, but it's a bunch of dummy batteries, and 2 of the batteries go into like basically a AC/DC plug, just right into the wall, and that's it. I'm like, that's fine. I was like, did you run it? And he's like, yeah, it works. I ran it for 5 hours. I'm like, that's what I need. I don't want to have to buy another. Like, I kept going back and forth with these people, and I was like, hey Zissou, how's it going? I was like, I can't keep. Wow, I needed a lot of these jumper plates. Oh, that was me saying that I needed those earlier. Why don't I just get dark gray? Okay, so 2x4, 2x3, and then I just needed 2 of those, right? I can't remember how many I needed in the original model now that I've already modeled. 6. Okay. They're all going to be dark gray. 2x2, 2x4, and then corner. I hate to do this, but I can't see over there. So I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do, instead of all gray, since this looks like it's got some dark red in it, we're going to throw some of those in there. And it's just too dark to see over there. Like, I can't tell. And I'm only getting a handful of pieces, but I can't see them. And I got to make sure they're the right gray too. So this isn't a Sterilite drawer, but it's a big one. This is probably one of the things I have the most of is 2x2, 2x3, 2x4. When this starts getting unwieldy, because it's fine now, I just leave the drawer open, and when I sort, I can just throw pieces in it, and I can easily find pretty much any color. But the next thing that will probably happen is either 2x2s and 2x3s, 2x4s, or just split this up into like black and white and gray, and maybe like tan, like something like that, and then a lot of like primary colors if they get split up like that. So I have those. Technically, I'm getting those pieces. So, oh, and look at that. Now I need one dark red. Friday Night Bricks, hello. How are you? Thanks for being here. Real quick, gonna text my wife. Welcome, Friday Night Bricks. Happy May 1st. To you too, Zissou. Happy May 1st. Did you guys partake of any May 1st May release sets today? Okay, the problem I have is I can't get in here with this keyboard. What did I say was dark red on here that maybe I can switch out to different colors? A lot of 3s and 4s, but no 2s. Got it. I was just about to give up on it too. Be like, nope, screw it, I'm just gonna order something. Just counting and sorting the pab I bought in Denver while at Brick Slopes. How was Brick Slopes? I know a couple people who were there. I would have loved to have gone. That's my old stomping ground up in Colorado. Oh, what do I need next? 1x6. Use all gray. Yeah. This is a good indication of when this gets full. This is just 1 by whatever plates. Fromania Bricks, hello. It is going well. Thank you for being here. Happy Thursday to you. Happy weekend eve. So I've got 2 other drawers that are basically this, but they're black and white. And it's long plates versus short plates. And then I have another one that's the colored version of that. It's all tans and reds and oranges and stuff. Short plates, long plates. The grays I haven't split up yet. I just don't have the room for it. 1 of those, 2 of these, 6, and 2 1x2s. Lived in Denver from 98 to 2018, so spent a lot of nights trying to see old friends. Needed more. Yeah, for sure. I was born outside of Denver, and then I lived in the suburbs of Denver till I was about 25, 26, 25. And then moved to Houston for about 2 years, and then moved to Austin. Because Houston, I did not like, and I know that Brian's going to get on me about it. But it was too big, it was too humid. It was too crazy. I couldn't handle it. We came out to visit somebody in Austin to look for, I was offered a job, and we came out to visit Austin, and it reminded me a little bit of Colorado, a little bit of Denver, not Colorado, but at least Denver. It was a bit hilly, very green. There were certain areas of town that had similar names, and it it felt kind of like, oh, I should be here. I shouldn't be in Houston. I should be here. The food is better. I think the food is better just like numerologically. You're just gonna find more restaurants out there. It is cheaper, that's for sure. So yeah, every time I go back to visit Colorado, the problem I have is that my parents are divorced and my brother doesn't talk to either of them. So every time a trip to Colorado is 3 different trips. It's a trip to visit each one of them. So I have to be very careful what I do out there and be like, all right, we're going out to visit mom. We're going out to visit dad. We're going out to visit nobody. So Brick Slopes would be one of those things where it'd be like, hey, family, and I tell all 3 of them, I'm going to be in Colorado, but I'm going to be going to this convention. I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to come visit you. If you want to come to the Lego show, get a ticket and I'll hang out with you, but I'm not here to visit you. And we've done that once or twice where we go visit friends when they were living in Boulder. And it worked out okay. You know, they were okay with it. So, all right. So I know I don't have ski poles. I already got the cylinders. I don't have these droid heads. I know I don't have those droid heads. So the next thing is 3 round bricks, 1 gray log. There are some pieces that you know. Oh man, I think this is an old gray. And I don't think I have a newer version of that. And then there are some bricks that I just can't tell if they're old or new without really giving it a good once over. All right. All right. So in here, I only have 2. That's unfortunate. I have another box of these, so I'm gonna go back and get that. Be right back. I was going to say there are some bricks that are so new they just don't have the old color, but I think I was proven wrong. I didn't realize that these were old enough to have an old light gray, but you can kind of see it's like dingy, it's starting to fade. And I just grabbed a bunch of extra ones of these and I am not seeing a good regular gray among them. So there's the good one. I only have those in 1x4s. The 1x2s I have are old. I am shocked. So let's look at the model. See, that's a chair. It doesn't really need to be that. It could be a grill brick. It doesn't really need to be anything. So I'm gonna get a grill brick instead. And these I would like to be, go back and see if I can get more of these. All right, that's good. This is one of the mistakes oh, right up front. Okay, cool. This is one of the mistakes I have with, yeah, like the Wild West ones were brown and like tan. I know there's a lot of those. Night, Brian. Take care. Thanks for being here. This is one of the mistakes I've made with my sorting is these trays. These are great to sort in. These go to a different group. These are great to sort in, and I've got these wire frame drawers that these sit in, but there's no lids for these. So the lower down ones, especially ones that don't get used a whole lot, end up with like dust bunnies in the bottom of them. But they're great because it's 4 drawers with, you can put 2 of these deep. So this offers a lot of storage, right? It is very convenient. I can get to stuff really easily. And it has a flat table, like a hard table on the top. So it can be like you can start stacking other stuff on top of it. So I really like them, but I don't like these not being covered. So what I've been trying to do is use these as very common pieces. So I'm always going in there and getting stuff, and hopefully keeping it from getting too dusty. Save changes. I don't really need that to be that. So, all right, 1 up, 1 down bracket, 2 long ups, and 2 short ups. Bring it over here because I'm going to illustrate something really diabolical. So 1 of each, have those. These brackets are kind of a problem for me because most of the time, like I don't think I have any. This color is more common facing down, and this color is more common facing up. But the problem is I'm constantly looking for the opposite color. Same with these small ones. The light gray is more common facing down, and the dark gray is more common facing up. I don't know if they did that on purpose. They exist in these other colors, but I've blown through them, or they're, I just don't have enough of them. So I always have to go look, and then I'm disappointed. It's like I keep opening the fridge going, why is there not more cake in the fridge right now? So let's see, in the model, where are they? I need 2 of those. I don't think it's going to matter. They're right here. Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Is that the right? Yeah, that's not going to be a problem. And then how many 2 longer ones? Yeah, those are not going to be a problem either. Color those dark gray as well. Yeah, that doesn't impact the model one bit. So 2 of these, and we're going to recolor these, and then 2 of these, and we're going to recolor these. So I'm going to go ahead and save this because I got the ones I needed. But then in this, we're going to recolor. Let's see if it'll let me do that. Dark gray. Dark blue gray. Should be dark bluish gray. There we go. Apply. So now it should change that in the list. Bingo. And I have 2 of those. So there we go. All right. I need a black, 2 black. I may have 2 black ones over here. Nope, just 1. And then 2 of those. These are just extra parts that I have from older sets floating around. And I only have 1 of those. So let me go grab 2 more of these. And that should be it. So I am running out of these. These are my favorite pieces and I use them for everything. These are perfect for blasters and greeblings and all kinds of stuff. So I like them a lot, but I'm running low on those. So I'm going to leave this up and then I'm going to say that I need 8 because I'm always needing these. That I have 2 of. And I'm going to save. Changes. I do need something to replace the skis, the ski poles for while we're building it. So I'm just gonna grab something out of here that could kind of be like that. Screwdrivers are also good blasters. Oh, I did have an extra one. I have a whole bag for you. But I've also started running out of screwdrivers because I know that they're very good for blasters on spaceships. And seeing as how I have nothing in here that's useful, I'm gonna go get just a couple short bars. Okay. I think that's everything. So let's make sure. So if I were to do buy all, these would all be the pieces that I need. Bag 6. So let's do auto select, start, and just see what I get. 1 cart. Brilliant. $3. And make sure it's on. Okay, that lightning and thunder was very close. If I lose power, I'm very sorry. Oh, my head. Yeah, the pressure is awesome. So yeah, these look like all the pieces I need. So if I wanted to buy all these right now, I would. But let's get the model together. So let's go back over to the model. And since this is awesome, we already have, instructions. Let's go through the instructions. Let's see how they stack up. Oh, Beth's home too. She caused it. Her fault. Did you cause all that, Thor?
I don't want to tell you how to live your life. You may want to end early.
I mean, the only thing that's going to happen is make the power shuts off. I'm on a power strip. It's not going to ruin anything. Yeah, all right. We were we were working from home. Well, Beth was working. I was working by playing a game. But it was on one of these days where it's like it was early in the pandemic. It wasn't even the pandemic. We were just working from home. Because we were still at the old house. We hadn't moved yet. But for whatever reason, I was home and she was in her office. It must have been like the third weekend of March. Anyway, big storm. We're both at home. I'm working because we haven't figured out what working from home means yet. I think we were still kind of closed down. Beth was in her office on her computer, and I was playing video games. And I had I don't have a wired remote. I have a Bluetooth PlayStation remote. And I was just standing there playing because I would play standing. Like the TV was too far away. If I was on the couch, I had to play standing, which also limited how much I played because I'm like, oh man, I don't keep standing. Anyway, bad storm, lightning hit our house or hit nearby and shut everything down, like shorted out. It basically ruined her router. She was working, her work from home was they package her. Yeah. Her router was bad. Her computer was bad. So they had to send her all new stuff. And me standing there with my controller shocked my controller, and the controller charger with the other controller went dead, and everything in the house got shut down. It was freaky. But the fact that I got shocked, not even standing, I was just standing there, must have meant it hit really close by and it just kind of went through the house or something. So now every time there's a storm, we're like, should we close everything up? So yeah, this is exciting. I actually get to build something. And then yeah, once this gets built, I know it's kind of a short stream, but I'll probably end up, since it's storming, I may end up ending the stream if y'all don't mind. Because I can hear it coming down now. Brian got his wish. All right, so this is a put together in steps part. Looks like it's a group. Uh-oh, everything kind of, the lights kind of flickered there for a second. I'm gonna rush through this. Okay. Okay. Sucks because the hockey game is on and I know I'm not going to be able to watch it on TV, which means I'm going to have to watch it on the computer, which I don't necessarily want to do that if it's storming like this out there. All right, I feel bad because this is actually a little funky to put together, so I need to remember what is weird about this and try to compensate for that in the instructions, because I don't like sending out instructions to people that are like, hey, this didn't go together very well. Can you fix that a little bit? Okay, here's one of our, this should be, no, I'm gonna keep those for red. And the edges. It's still not holding together very well. But look, I did bracket math right for once. And here's that problematic 1x2 piece. Oh, and that is a different color gray. That's unfortunate. It usually doesn't bother me. The grays don't really bother me. The more I do photography on it, like I stick it into a big white photo tent and take a picture, it's really obvious because of the bright lights on it that some of the parts are different colors. That's the only time it really bothers me. If I'm displaying at a convention, I don't care. I generally don't. These things are so small, and nobody gets that close to them enough to where they're like, these pieces look like they're a different color. You done? Cool. That didn't take too long, man. Hour and 20 minutes? Or did you start before I started? Because I think when yeah, this needs to be on here a little better. I need to figure that out. So this is only being held on. Well, it should be with this tile on top a little better. I'll work on it. That's part of the fun of building it, is going, well, that didn't work. So let's try something else. Which way is that facing? So these are... What's up, Cliff? Hope you're doing well. We're just about being done with this. Making a Microfighter, the pirate snub fighter from Ahsoka. And it is storming here pretty bad, so as soon as this is done, I am going to jump off. Oh, I didn't get analog, I didn't get fill-ins for droid heads. Yeah, these are going to be mine, and they're the wrong color, but it'll get it done. Why do we say 1 hour and 20 and not 1 1/3 hours? Sometimes I'll be weird about that and say 1 1/4 or 1.5 hours. I also won't say 1 hour and 20. I'll say 80 minutes, if that makes sense. Okay, so this technically goes on like this with these. It really depends. Like if I'm trying to be like pedantic or quick or something with it. Oh goodness, this is a whole thing, isn't it? So, all right. Need that guy to attach to here. And then this actually works in my favor. A little bit. And then there. Is there anything else? There. What is that? Working on altering the Star Wars logo. Oh, there we go. We only use 1/4 even though 12 and 60 were picked because of their divisibility. Yeah. Right, so the next one is that, and it is this opposite. So it is that underneath. Why did I get 3 of those? That's odd. Then that. And these 2, and then we're going to be done. Yeah, I added a 3rd one of these. It must be floating around in like the instructions somewhere. That's okay. That's not too bad. Okay, so exit the model. Put our pirate in there. Do we have a pistol for this pirate? I think he gets one of these double-barreled jobbies. So there we go. We got ourselves a pirate snub fighter, Microfighter. Now a lot of these pieces are the wrong color, but most of them are correct. I need some ski poles for some cooler looking blasters. Those tiles on the back and the tiles on the front are a different color. I'm gonna have to rethink some of this up front because it's a little squidgy, but it's mostly okay. Like it's not going anywhere. So yeah, gonna build a stand for this guy, which the only time you really saw him and Shin Hati's fighter. No. These guys chased Din Djarin through an asteroid belt. That's what these guys were. There was a scene where like 6 of these guys were coming after the Razor Crest, or not even the Razor Crest. I think it was the N1. It was after he got the N1 fighter, and these guys came after him. So that's what this ship is from. Yeah, but they belonged to. There's a really big pirate corvette that like hovered above one of the planets and like shot down on the planet and killed a bunch of people, and had like an open cockpit on the top, or an open landing bay on the top, with Pizza the Hut, the algae Pizza the Hut guy. That was these fighters. So yeah, so you could make a bunch of these fighters. Missing some pieces on the back for smaller engines, stuff like that, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, so it's done. Okay, cool. Well, that is enough for today. I'm going to shut everything down in case the storm gets really bad here. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your your day and your weekend. Weekend's coming up. I hope everybody has a good weekend. Going to shows, building Lego, and anything you're working on. So, yeah. So everybody, take care of yourselves. Have a nice weekend, and I will. Oh, May the 4th on Sunday, I'll be building a Star Wars set. So make sure to tune in on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. And we'll talk to you guys then. Take care, everybody. Bye.